different. So far, we have been doing one-step equations, and this is what that means. It means when I ask myself, when I ask myself why the variable wasn't by itself, there was only one reason it wasn't by itself. It was either being added by some number, subtracted by some number, multiplied by some number, or divided by some number. Okay, there was only one reason it wasn't by itself. But now there are going to be two reasons. Two-step equations. Okay? So we're going to have to get rid of something twice. Skipping that. Doesn't matter. So again, our main idea, our objective today is to solve two-step equations. And so that's your new vocabulary, is two-step equation. So again, what's an equation?
It's an expression. No. It's.
What's the difference between an equation and an expression?
Oh, an equation has an equal sign and an expression doesn't.
Yes. Equations are things with equal signs. Expressions are math statements without equal signs. So everything we have today is going to have an equal sign. Okay. So it's going to take some learning for me because it gives the whole answer, and I don't want it to show the answer yet. So this is how I've fixed it. I'm going to do something like this. Okay? And as I learn more, I might figure out how to actually work it. Right now, it tells me to solve 4x plus 3 equals 19, and then check that solution.
Hey, Mr. Coops,
Yes?
you can freeze the projector and put a...
Yeah, I don't want to freeze it. I want it to be live.
I was going to say, like, put a box over the answer and then unfreeze
I mean, I know that's one way we can do it. That's not going to help me with my final thing that I want, though. So I've got 4x plus 3 equals 19. And what's it tell me to do with this? It tells me to solve it. Solve 4x plus 3 equals 19. So when I see the word solve, my goal is...
isolate the variable.
So I ask myself a question. Why is the variable not by itself? Now don't say it out loud. But now then there's going to be more than one reason why the variable is not by itself. Remember, to help you, you can put a dotted line at the equal sign to see. So, Nathan, what is one of the reasons the variable is not by itself?
It has plus 3 beside it.
Okay, so the variable is not by itself because we are adding 3. Okay, and Malachi, what's another reason?
The x is being multiplied by 4.
Right, does everybody see that? There are two reasons this variable is not by itself. It is being added by 3 and is being multiplied by 4. So I'm going to have to undo both of these things. Now, it matters which order I undo them. Okay? One of them is much more difficult to do than the other. You know, like when you simplify an expression. How do you simplify expressions? We have what we call the order of operations. What is the order of operations? Please excuse my dear Aunt Sally. You do everything in parentheses. You do everything that has an exponent. You do everything being multiplied or divided. Then you do everything being added or subtracted. Right? So, that is what happens when you are simplifying. Am I simplifying? No, I am solving. And remember, when we first started talking about solving, we talked about working backwards. How I'm undoing things that have happened. So, really, when you are solving an equation, you want to go in the exact opposite order than when you simplify. I want to undo it in this order. Okay? Which means I want to get rid of anything being added or subtracted. Then I want to get rid of anything being multiplied or divided. Then I want to get rid of anything that has an exponent. Then I want to get rid of anything inside of parentheses. Okay? That's the normal way that we do it. If it gets in a big mess when there's a bunch of different things happening. But a good rule of thumb, you don't always have to remember it like that. This is the way that's easier, and it's probably the easiest way to teach it. Probably 90% of the time, maybe even more than that, whatever is farthest away from the variable is what you want to get rid of first. Whatever is the farthest away is what I'm going to get rid of first. So I have to get rid of adding 3 and multiplying by 4. Which one of those is farther away?
3.
The 3 is, right? I mean, look, the multiplying by 4 is right here beside it. The 4 is literally right beside the x. It's being multiplied. But the adding 3 is a little bit farther away. It's not really connected to the x. You see what I'm saying? So which one am I going to get rid of first?
3.
I'm going to get rid of the adding 3. So how do we get rid of adding 3?
You isolate. Wait, no. You put that aside.
You do the opposite of adding 3.
Subtract 3.
You subtract 3. If I subtract 3 from one side, I subtract 3 from the other side. 3 minus 3 is 0. What am I left with?
19 minus negative.
16.
Over here, I'm left with 16. But what about on the left side? What's left?
4.
The 4x, right? It's not just x. It is a 4x that's left. Does everybody see that? So my goal is to get the x by itself. Is the x by itself?
No.
No. Why?
Divide by 4.
Do the opposite.
Divide by 4.
If I divide by 4 on one side, I divide by 4 on the other.
You get 4.
4 divided by 4 is 1. 1 times x is x. 16 divided by 4 is 4. So I have found that x is equal to 4. Are there any questions about that? Do you see what's different now? Now there are 2 reasons the variable is not by itself. We're not changing our thought process. We're still doing the exact same things. I see solve. My goal is to get the variable by itself. I ask myself, why is it not by itself? And then I do the opposite. Okay? Nothing new. Yes?
So, first, when you, on the add 3 and subtract 3, you get the x. And then 19 minus 3 is 16. And then x equals 16. And then...
No, x does not equal 16. What's left? It's not just an x. It's a 4x, right? Do you see that?
Oh, yeah.
It's not x equals 16. It's a 4x that's left.
And
So
then you bring
4x
the
equals 16.
4 divided by 4. Oh,
I've got to get x by itself.
I see it now. So you have to, and then after you subtract the 3, you have to divide by the 4.
Yep, that's it.
Okay, I get it now.
That's it. Okay? Don't be looking. Don't be cheating. Hope that's the check. Here we go. Okay, let's look at this one. We want to solve 3z plus 1 equals 4 and check our solution. I'm going to let you try this one on your own. You can do it. Okay, so this is what we should have. We should have 3z plus 1 equals 4. You subtracted 1,
From each side.
which leaves you with 3z equals 3. Now is the z by itself?
No.
Why?
Because you're multiplying.
It's multiplied by 3, so you do the opposite. So that gives me z equals 1.
Yeah, that's what I got.
I did it
Okay.
right. Yeah, I did it right.
Stay there, stay there, stay there.